just discovered why my parents divorced 26 years ago and has rocked my world. This is probably going to sound stupid, but when I was a child, I thought my parents had a perfect marriage. They said, "I love you," often, they were attentive to me, and they were always a team. In the intervening years I have tried over and over to remember at least one fight, but when they happened, they were obviously never around me. Then, one day in November, when I was 7, they sat me down and said that they were getting a divorce like my friend Tasha's parents. I immediately took the blame and said I would fix whatever it was, and I really didn't need anything for Christmas, but they calmed me down, and reassured me that this decision had nothing to do with me. Then Mom dropped the bomb. "You haven't done anything wrong, sweetheart. We just don't love each other anymore." This rocked my world. They both reassured me that they both loved me, and Mom headed to Grandma's that night. I didn't understand it. I had been to multiple weddings as a flower girl. It was supposed to be, "till death do you part." I became convinced that I had to be perfect to make sure they never stopped loving me. They put me into therapy so I could have someone to talk about the divorce with, but I always said everything was fine and never expressed any negative emotion. I pushed myself to be a solid honor roll student, hiding a panic attack when I got a few B's in math. I was never grounded, never went to a party, never went on a date. In college I double majored, joined a few clubs, but never drank or acted out. I moved back to my city after college, got an internship, and eventually got a job. My mother was over today for Halloween and asked me when I was going to give her grandkids, because she didn't want to be on a walker when her grandbabies came. I told her I never planned on having children. I don't date. I'll probably never have a relationship, because I'd always be terrified that I'd wake up one day and they wouldn't love me anymore. My mom asked me where I'd get a stupid idea like that, and I just stared at her. "That's what happened to you and Dad," I said, shaking my head. "One day everything was fine, and the next, you two didn't love each other anymore, and it was over." I got myself a drink, just so I didn't have to look at her. Then she said something that shook my world. She had fallen out of love with my father, but it was the fact that she had fallen in love with someone else and cheated on him that broke the marriage. I went into immediate denial, that Dad had never mentioned anything about an affair, that they were still friendly when co-parenting, and she said that was because they didn't want to alienate me from her. I kicked her out. I don't even remember what it was I said. I've just been in such absolute shock, that I'm not even sure how to process it. My entire life they lied to me. Everything I thought I knew about the divorce was a lie. I don't even know where to go from here. I'm not asking for advice, I just needed to yell this into the void.